Alright, what's up, guys? So today is just gonna kind of be a podcast story time type deal. In this podcast video kind of story time thing, we're gonna be going over some crazy fishing stories and
the trapping
experience that we actually had tonight. We are in the middle of filming that video. You guys will kind of see that part of the video too.
That was the scariest moment in my life.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Do you want to start off with fishing?
Yeah, we'll start off with fishing.
Right.
Just
best
to
for
keep
last.
them watching.
Best for last, you know. So make sure you stay tuned to the end because that one is gonna be just crazy. And it's really crazy.
Y'all would like it.
Good. Alright, so I'll go ahead and start off. So my first story is about the biggest fish I've ever caught. It was half an inch from the record. It was down in Roaring River in Missouri. So kind of how it started, it was kids fishing day. So there was a bunch of kids, and there was one part of the river that it was only for kids. It was a pool. If you guys don't know what that means, it's where the river kind of like widens out, and it just kind of, I want to say it's completely still, but it's a lot more still than most other places that's not a pool. So we're in the kids' fishing pool, and I'm just fishing there, reeling, and it's probably my fourth or fifth cast of the day, because if you've never been there, there's a buzzer, it goes off, and then you can start casting. So the night before that, I actually, we had these little like tadpole, like that. It was like tadpoles. It was a soft plastic that actually sank. And the day before that, we weren't catching anything. Well, we had like a little lead jig head, and I put one of it on, and so I'm just working it in. The day before, this fish was caught, and they kept chasing it and fighting over it, and then we left. And I was like, okay, I'm using the same exact bait, and in the morning, right when the buzzer go off, I'm just gonna throw it in, cast it, catch a bunch of fish because they're all fighting over it. And so morning, buzzer goes off, I catch one, reeling in, I'm like, heck yeah, man. I throw it in our basket, I cast it out again. Well, over to the left, there's this kid that's alone, and he was about 10 years old. Keep in mind, I think I was 12 or 13 when this actually happened. But we just hear this kid off to the side. He's alone. I got one. So my dad was like, hey, and told my mom to actually go over there and help this kid. Well, right when she goes to start helping this kid net his fish in, because they get off so easy. So she's sitting there helping him get his fish off the net, and I set the hook like as hard as I can. I couldn't see my bait, so I didn't know how big of a fish it was because it was down under, like, too deep, or I couldn't see. Well, so I set the hook really hard, and I'm reeling it in, and it's fine, and I'm like, oh, it's a big one. I'm sitting there yelling, it's a big one, like, I need a net. It's a big one. And so I'm sitting there finding it, and I probably fought this fish for 5 minutes. Like, I fought this fish forever. And finally we get it into the net, and we're like, oh my god, this is huge. So like when we were done, we just threw it in the basket there and kept fishing because they bite a lot right at that morning. So once we were done, we caught our limit. We went back to the truck, and we actually measured that fish. And the record for that river caught is 22 inches. Well, that fish was 21 and a half inches long. And I was like, oh my god, this is, like, amazing. And my dad, he was about to fillet that fish. He was about to fillet it. And so everybody and me were like, yo, I want this mounted. Everybody's like, yo, get that mounted. I want it mounted. So I'll actually post a picture of that on our Instagram of the fish when we measured it. And I'll actually post the picture of my mount of it on our Instagram as well.
It looks a lot smaller than it was in real life.
Yeah, the mount looks a lot smaller than it does.
It was a
But, like,
horrible mountain job.
and the picture does not show its size. It was so much bigger than what the picture actually showed, and it was just crazy.
Think
So,
about it. A ruler is 12 inches. That's almost 2 rulers.
you got a story?
Yes, sir. But sit over this one. This one pretty interesting. So, what was it, during the summer when I fell?
Yeah, I was doing this summer.
Yeah. So during 2020, right? 2020 summer. 2020 summer. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I got this scar. It runs across my arm, and me, Jason, and our buddy we were going down to a spillway to go try to catch a fish, but the spillway was kind of hard to get to. Down like how high?
Oh, that cliff was probably 15 to 20 foot.
Yeah.
And it's not like it goes down like that. It goes down
Right.
like
Basically
that.
like that.
Like it goes straight down, basically.
Like you're going down an actual mountain. But anyways, we were about, I say where I fell was about 15.
15. That cliff.
Probably
we were
from
about
the
5
top
feet
of it.
down. From the top, it was like 20 feet. We
I
were
say
probably
25,
like
something
25.
like that.
Yeah, because
we
we
were
were
about
about
10 feet.
10 feet down
Yeah.
when you fell.
So, anyways, I was down. We were all down. We were walking across some rocks. Horrible idea, but me and Jason have walked down there to set our minnow trap. My minnow trap. We were like, we've done it once. We could do it again. You could start walking down. I'm about halfway across the rock area that we need to get to the other side, and the rock I stepped on slipped, and I fell, and he tried to catch me, but right as I put my hand out, I just dropped, and went down, fell straight on, like my whole left body fell straight on a very flat rock. Hurt like crap, by the way. And I was about, like maybe this far away from hitting barbed wire. But I'm really lucky for that. A really idiotic part of me didn't text my mom at all. I texted my not yet girlfriend, which I'm currently dating. I texted her first. First thing I did, well, after I could move. was
And
text.
keep in mind, this is the scariest day of my life because I legitimately thought he was dead at the bottom of that cliff.
Yeah, because I couldn't move.
We went back up to the top to set all of our fishing stuff down. So like, hey, we cannot we can't carry all this down and him back up. So we went up to the top to put it down. We start hollering for him. He's not saying anything, or we can't hear him saying anything.
I actually think I fainted for a few seconds.
And so we're like rushing back down there, and
No, you weren't. That took like 5-10 minutes
okay,
before
we
you
weren't
got down
rushing.
there.
Okay, sorry.
I was
but
halfway up there before you're like, hey, you need help?
when we got down there, like I saw the barbed wire, and there was a lot of blood on it, and so I thought he fell right into that barbed wire and was just dead down there.
There was a lot of blood everywhere. There was blood on the rocks when I fell down. I got hit in the head by a rock that I tried to grab onto for support.
And then probably that one of the happiest moments of my life also happened because I just see his head just whoop right out of that cliff. And bro, let me tell you, my heart just like came back together after being just crushed.
I screamed at you. I didn't know what to do. I was when you guys went up there, you were trying to talk to me. And I think I actually cussed y'all out, but you couldn't hear it because of the spillway. But I definitely said a few choice words that I honestly don't feel like repeating at all in my life. But yeah, it was one of the scariest moments in my life. It was the scariest until tonight happened, which stay tuned. We got a few more stories to tell.
And keep in mind, the kid that we were with, we are trying, or at least I am. I keep trying to ask him, be like, hey, do you want to like be a part of us? Like, do you want not like a part of us, but like,
DJJ Outdoors.
do you want to be a part of this group? Do you want to like become a squad instead of a duo? Like, do you want to become like us all three together and
Because I'm
start a
moving
brand
with-
of all
I'm
three of
moving
us?
in February.
Because he won't be able to film as much because he's moving.
Oh, I'll be able to film a lot more down there.
Or yeah, he'll be able to film a lot more, but like not with us.
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of solo videos.
Yeah, so he's gonna be
Until-
sending it off to me, and then
Unless
edit.
I find a few friends down there. Which gonna be awesome. Rednecks doing our thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting, me moving, because I've moved once in my life, and that was when I was around 4. But it's gonna be very interesting leaving.
and I could go over a couple stories how I've been mad, but there's just too many to count. But one that really stands out, the one that really, really, really stands out is when I actually broke my rod and threw it in the water. So me and him are together, okay? And I'm reeling in this fish. Okay, it jumps in the air. And this was before I caught my biggest bass. And so this bass is like 10 pounds. And I'm screaming, oh my God, this is the biggest fish in my life. Blah, 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 blah. And so, like, we see it jump like 2 times. And then I'm getting really scared. I'm like, this fish cannot jump again. This hook will come out of its mouth. Well, I'm getting it in. And
Wasn't I on the water?
I had a sorry, I'm trying to figure out this name.
Awkward turtles, man.
Okay, I'm cutting this part out of us thinking the 3 hook.
Sure. Treble? No, we can't cut that part out. That part was hilarious.
Okay, so the treble hook.
You could have just said 3 hook, and I would have knew it instantly.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna cut out that part, but
No, we're gonna leave it in because that was the probably the funniest moment of this video. You trying to
Okay.
figure out what a treble hook was.
I forgot the name. Okay, well, what it did was the treble hooks are like this, right? But I mean, I can't extend my fingers like that. So then they like flip basically, like they came undone and like flipped around. So he completely bent the hook and got out. So I get really, really mad. I'm cussing, I'm screaming. I take my rod and I throw it on the ground. Well, then I see it, I pick it up and it's broken. Well, then that made me even more mad. I just broke a really expensive rod. So I just took it and I threw it. Well, I meant to throw it across to the other side, but I threw
This
it
is at
into
that
the middle
other
of the
pond.
pond.
Yeah. This was at.
And then I'm really mad and I had to strip down and go get it.
Honestly, one of the best moments of my life. Anyways, so what's another fishing story we could tell? Tell the one about the dog. You should do the dog. The dog.
Were you there, or was it just me?
It was you and our friend buddy that we're not gonna name until.
Okay,
No, but I'm
so-
saying. Alright. One of our buddies is unnamed for right now, but until we get his consent or until he joins us, we are not gonna name him. We'll call him Jay.
Okay, so we're gonna call him Jay. Okay, so Jay and me are fishing, right? We're fishing in this. Oh, it's kind of right by where he fell, but we're done fishing, right? So we're walking out, and
By the way,
like,
shout out to the man that we were fishing at, that he made a clearing for us fishermen to go there. I actually fell the day he was doing it, so.
So before we even started leaving, this dog was just annoying us, and it like kept running up to us and stuff, and like it kept scaring us, like it kept trying to like come up and like bite us. So we were like kind of like flinching at it and like trying to make it run away. Well, so we start walking out. So we were like, whatever, we're just gonna move spots. We start walking out, and this dog starts chasing us. And so like I obviously put my rod and I'm like trying to like get it away from us. I'm not hitting it or anything. And then we see this other dog just bolting across this dude's yard and just tackles this dog. And then that's when we were like, okay, let's leave. So we just turned around and ran. Now I don't consent like fighting dogs, but like That dog, like, saved us from getting bit, basically. Like, if that dog didn't come in, we were definitely gonna get bit. Yeah, I got bit by my girlfriend's dog today.
Alright, so, what's the fishing story I could tell? Let's see here. What about, what's his name? What's that big catfish's name? Sharkeisha. Sharkeisha. So, down where I'm moving, which I'm also gonna leave unnamed for right now until I feel like I can name it. But we're down at this one pond that has humongous fish. I actually caught my two biggest largemouth down there. Right? Yeah. Two biggest largemouth. Anyways, so we were fishing and we had some sunfish.
Yeah.
Sunfish that we cut up and we put on some
And keep in
catfish
mind,
rods.
these are 1 pound, like, each. These are 1
Yeah,
pound.
these things are
sunfish.
huge. So you know the jitterbug he was fishing with? We caught him on those. We caught those like that you could
that
lip them. You
jitterbug-
could lip them.
That jitterbug fit in their whole entire mouth.
Yeah. So, yeah, we cut them up into thirds, I'm pretty sure, and we threw them out there, let them sit, because we
We
could.
fish. Why don't I tell the story?
You did not catch Sharkeisha.
Yeah, I did. I had her on the line.
I had her on the line too.
Okay, you tell your side.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
So he left to do whatever he was doing. He went and go back to our campsite to go grab something or something like that. And I look over and his actual ocean pole was just taking line. Like that fish was just taking. So I run over there. I'm like, crap, I gotta hook this fish and land it. Man, without one person. You know how hard it is to catch land in the mossiest place in the world. But so I set it. I have Sharkeisha on the line, or it's Big Brother, something like that, and it's pulling. Drag is going out like crazy.
Keep in mind, this is an ocean pole.
I'm trying to
With
keep
80-pound line.
I'm trying to keep this thing like maintained so we don't run out of line. And it stops and it just goes straight down. I could feel the pole, everything's just like bending and it's going straight down. Like it's not budging. And I went to go pull it back and the line just snapped. 80-pound line, gone. It's done. We just lost one of the biggest catfish of our lives. And it's huge. This catfish is huge. And it's actually kind of crazy because the people that live down there swim in that water. And I think that if that thing is hungry, it could literally just
It could eat a baby.
It's just, your leg is just going to be gone. Like, it's done for. You're screwed if that thing gets hold of you. And no matter how strong of a swimmer you are, you're getting pulled down by that thing. Anyway, tell your side of the story, and then I'm going to tell another story about that place.
Alright, so we are fishing that.
By the way, my crotch hurt like crap after that.
Sharkeisha. Okay. I set the hook. This is how Sharkeisha got her name. So I set the hook, you know, and I'm reeling this fish in, and I'm like, oh my god, this is huge. Like, this feels like a shark. That's where part of the name comes in.
Because of the head. The pole, you could see the pole
You
just
see
doing
the
this.
pole, yeah. And keep in mind the ocean pole too. 80-pound line. So in this, it kind of goes down and then drops off like this, like a table, and this is all rock right here.
Yeah, but we weren't on that side, so it was just a straight, like,
Yeah.
going down like
And
this.
so it pulls me down to that side, goes down and cuts the line on the on that actual rock ledge, and
Yeah.
took
that
me
would've
off.
been it.
Pretty bad. I threw the pole.
Yeah, but yeah.
One more story, and then we tell them the story.
Yeah,
about
one more
tonight?
story. So, it's not going to be a long one. There's this dude near the people that swim down there. Total bees. Let's just keep it at that. They are so freaking rude. Actually, the dude is. The girl, his wife is fine. She clapped and celebrated when we caught her first fish down there. Anyways, this dude comes out because we're on his property, even though it's
Keep in
public
mind
property.
that 10 feet from the water down there is all public.
As long as you live down there, or have land. So my grandpa has
We
land
have
down
land
there, and so you go down there. We're fishing like on the bank, like we are like almost in the water. These dogs are barking at us and whatever. We don't think much of it. They're dogs. They bark at literally everything. This dude comes out. He starts cussing at us and yelling at us.
I
to
was
get
honestly
off.
not paying attention to him until like he just randomly goes, "If you guys don't get off my property, keep them out. We're not on his property." He goes, "I'm gonna let my dogs out to attack you."
Yeah, and these dogs aren't small. They're not like
They're
little
huge.
tiny dogs. These dogs could probably bite an arm off. Like these dogs are huge.
And my dumb self said do it, but he never did.
Yeah, he came down and talked to us like, this is my property, and it's etiquette. No, etiquette's not threatening to let your dogs
He
out
said it was
on us.
like some, I can't remember the word he said, but we were like, nah, bro.
It's etiquette.
It was
not
like
to-
common sense or something like that.
No, it's not common sense. Common sense is to know the law down there.
Yeah.
That 10 feet from any place, unless you built the freaking pond, is public property. And I know
No,
dang
even
well,
that, any water down there.
No, not on. Like literally in. Like around. Like if they built it, you can't go fish on it without permission. That's what I mean. So he didn't build it. He didn't do nothing. He's just this
He built the
grumpy
dock that was
old-
there, but we weren't even.
And we weren't
near
on
the
his dock, not near it. We were actually fishing under his dock because that's where those big old sunfish live. So we were doing our thing. He was frog fishing. I was doing my thing. Using
This
the
made me mad
paddle
because we
strap.
left when that was the best like frog spot on that pond, and I'm not kidding you. I probably caught 15 fish.
Yeah,
in 30 minutes.
We went down there and we told Grandpa that. My grandpa said, "Oh yeah, he's all big and strong and smart." Until I come down there and I show him what's up, and we were like, "Grandpa, you should totally do that, and we'll have your back when the dogs come out." Anyways, that's that story. It was short, sweet. Anyways,
All right, so this story, this is
we're sharing this story because this was
this-
both of us.
Yeah. So
You want me to tell the first part since I was?
I'll tell the lead up. You tell what happened, and
Yeah.
I'll tell the finish. So we're going to set our trap that we're actually in the middle of making the video on, and keep in mind it's 9:00 at night.
Yeah.
So it's pitch black. So
Besides this now.
I'm walking down there. We're kind of walking around everything, and I was
Trying
like,
to find
yo,
a good spot for a
Yeah.
coon.
we're like, yo, this is a good spot. Let's put the trap here. So we start setting up the trap
In the middle of a wooded area, so we
and
can't
I
really
actually
see
have a
anything.
video of all that. But we're in the middle of woods, so we can't hardly see in front of us. So this is where he.
So, I hear some twig snapping. I'm like, oh, it's just an animal or something like that. But, I was followed down there, during the summer with my buddy. Our name also starts with a J, so we'll call him.
We call him Jeremy.
Yeah, well, Jeremy. So, me and Jeremy were down there. We just got done fishing. We start walking back, and we see this dude just walk out of nowhere, like he lives in the woods. He literally just walked out of woods. Like, hey, you need help? You lost? You okay? He just keeps walking towards us. So we decided to run because it was like 10:30 at night. We didn't really want to get murdered. We start running, and this dude takes off into the other part of the woods, jumps over like a pretty decent creek.
Oh, yeah.
Like he does this for a living, and he gets to at the front of the park. He gets to where we are. Like he almost like cuts us off. If we weren't running as fast as we were, he would have literally just cut us off. And we stopped to take a break because I wasn't in shape, and my Jeremy's never in shape. No offense, but so we stopped for a second to collect ourselves because we're like, that did not just happen, did it? Like for real? Because out of all the times we fished down there that late, that's never happened. But I look back to make sure he wasn't just like following us, and I see him in the like field, like it was like straight field, and we start taking off, and same thing, basically we were in a wooded area, and I hear twigs snapping, and I was like, animal, but paranoia hit me because of what happened, so. I keep looking over there because I keep hearing noises. And I look over there and I see someone duck or something duck. And I'm like, yo, watch our six. There's like someone right there. There's something moving. I don't yell like I just did. But
And trust me, if that was an animal, it would have never, like, in my head, I'm like, yo, if this is an animal, it's checking us out, and then it's going to realize that we're people and it's going to leave. Well, this never left.
It kept coming closer. The twig snapping kept coming closer, and
then the animal's not going to sit there and just step on every single twig.
It's gonna like try not to step on twigs because it doesn't know what we are.
Yeah, and it's gonna be very quiet.
And it's not gonna like duck and go hide under like behind a bush either. That's what it did when I looked over there. It ran and like ducked behind a bush. It's like, hey, something over there. I couldn't really see it. I just saw something run. So make sure it's like we're safe. And he's like, all right.
I forgot my knife.
He didn't believe me at first. He was, oh yeah, okay, fine, whatever. So, I keep hearing noises, and it's starting to get to him. Like, yeah, this is for real. He's not joking around. And I keep looking over there, and then I reach for the dog bag, open the dog food and whatever, and he's looking over there to make sure like this thing isn't getting closer to us. And I hear a voice say, "Hey!" like behind us, like trying to get another person that comes later on. And so I'm like, yo, we need to get out of here. They're trying to close in on us. There's at least two.
Like, I mean, for real, I just took handfuls and started dumping it.
Yeah, like, there's at least two, and I don't know if there's a third one, and that's what I'm worried about. There's a third one. And so we get done. We hurry. Like, we start filming.
Here,
and
so I'm gonna keep the story.
One sec.
Okay.
So we're walking in the middle of the field, and
so I'm sitting there filming, right? Because I'm like, yo, if something happens, I want this on film, so we have evidence that something happened. Well, so I'm walking, and I'm looking all around with the flashlight that's on the camera. Well, obviously the camera can't see as far as the light can, and I don't know if we caught this on camera or not. But Damien goes, run, and starts running. Well, I look to my right, and I point the camera over there because it has the flashlight, and I see two eyes, right? And it wasn't like an animal. Like an animal at that point would have just took off. And so we just start running because it just stood still. Like that animal would have taken off.
it started running, by the way.
It started running, but to where we were going.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just running. And we get in my car and just lock the door. And then just...
This stupid idiot was like trying to fix his backpack. Like
I wasn't trying to fix my backpack.
wasn't
I was trying to take my backpack off in my bag so I could actually drive. But the
smart thing.
car door is locked and it was on. So if I did see something running out to the car, all I had to do is just flip it in gear real quick.
Yeah.
Because I put it in neutral, so all I had to do is just push it down one.
So, side story. While we were running, I ran into a few branches, got cut in my hand somewhere. Don't even know where, but I got cut in my hand. Anyways, so we're running, and my Red Bull, I had a 20-ounce of Red Bull that I'm still kind of mad about. And so I hit a tree, and my first instinct is like put my hand up so I don't keep running and cut my face. And I throw my Red Bull on accident in front of me. I went to go pick it up and try to take a drink, and I hear someone approaching from behind me, and I'm like, that's no good. Throw it behind me. Don't know if it hit him or not. If it did, he was really quiet about it. So we keep running. He's the first one. He stops right at like the...
Because I didn't just want to, because I couldn't see him, so I just didn't want to leave him behind. And I was literally, I turned around to go back in because I couldn't hear any footsteps or anything. And I couldn't see him beside me or in front of me, and he's faster than me. So I literally turned around, and I was about to walk back in there because, like, hey,
I just submerged you.
They have my cousin, and I'm about to go do something about it. Like, I'm about to go get my cousin. And he just, right out for the
Get in the car!
He's screaming, get in the car, get in the car.
Unlock the car door. But, yeah, it was that literally scariest moment in my life. And next time that happens, I always have a knife on me, and I just sharpen that knife. The sharpest it's
Trust
ever
me,
been.
I will have my knife on me.
And sharpest knife, it's sharpest knife. I have sharpest knife, sharpest it's ever been. But yeah, so next time that happens, keep running because I know a lot of defense mechanisms,
I mean, so do I. But
and I know more pressure points than.
I just know how to KO somebody.
Yeah. So, anyways, definitely the scariest moment in my life, and tomorrow if we do not film this, it's because we are getting in there and out of there, and if we do film this, it's because we have at least one more person with us.
Well, we're gonna film it just in case something happens.
Yeah, I know, but if we don't post it, is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But so we might go down there. I might bring one of my pews with not actual pew. It's like it's
BB gun.
yeah, a BB
Just
pew.
because, like, hey, it's gonna hurt them.
Yeah, and they know exactly where we were, and that's the most terrifying thing about that is they knew where we were, so that means they had to have been watching us the whole time, which I'm like shaking talking about this, yo. Like for real, look at that. I'm like, this is like the most terrifying moment, cause
we're gonna bring a buddy or something.
Cause last time that happened, the dude actually followed us me home, so they know where I live, kind of. I don't know, but they know remotely where I live. They know the street I live on. So, that also brings me to a story about like 25 minutes ago. Blossom, my dog Blossom, was staring out our back door, or back sliding glass door, and I was looking out there with my knife in my hand because I was like, yeah, that's not okay. And I look out there and I see something move. I call out back there, hey, anyone out there? Hey, yo. And I didn't hear anything. I closed it, locked it instantly. And, if we film in the middle of the night, it's because either we hear a gate get torn down or, a chair move or something like that. And, if that happens,
just be ready to see a crap ton of pews being fired.
If that happens, I'm definitely putting my new pew munition in there in my pew that will leave a mark, probably get stuck in them, and
just like the one in mine.
And it's gonna be
I'll also
the
post
best
a picture of that on our Instagram.
Best day of my life, cause new ammo. And I'm probably going to put some BBs in there because I have 2 cans of those. So, it'll probably be a mix of both. And, Jason might have the katana. Jason's going to have the katana so he could just whack people, or the bat right next to it.
Oh, dude, I played baseball. Yeah, bring in the bat.
Yeah, so if this does happen, it's because something happened in the middle of the night. Our next video, our next podcast, we're actually going to be filming right after this, but it's not going to be posted until a few days, maybe, just for posting, in case you don't post anything else. But, yeah, sorry if we bored you. Please, if you watched all the way through, thank you for your support.
Thank you so much. Like, honestly, we can't thank you enough if you watch this video all the way through, especially because it's going to be 40 minutes long.
Yeah. Well, like maybe 5 minutes less, maybe.
Yeah.
Because of all the editing. But yeah, thank you so much, and like and comment if you want to see more of like our stories, and comment down below if you want to hear like a ghost stories. Cause
and like also, it really sucks making these long videos like this because the last video, you know how I got down 10 minutes? It took me 4 hours just to get it down to that 10-minute mark.
So, this video, it's supposed to be long.
It's definitely gonna be long.
It's supposed to be long because this is a podcast. But, foreshadowing. Foreshadow event real quick. I have a lot of, videos and, stories about ghosts, especially in my grandparents' house. We both have.
I have a pretty freaky one.
We both is it the one we're thinking about, the across the hallway.
No, I'm talking about the one that dude killed himself.
Oh, I thought you meant like at.
Oh, that one was pretty sketchy, but
Yeah.
scariest one in my life was.
And just so you know, it's not us. I actually have a story about me, my grandpa, and my grandma. All
That we
seeing the
all
same
have
thing.
seen the same exact thing.
We like, and yeah. So comment down below. We'll catch you next time. This is DJ Outdoors. Yes.